안녕하세요. 예스유학의 줄리엣 컨설턴트입니다. 이번에 소개해드릴 학교는 마사추세츠주 피츠버그에 있는 Applewild School입니다. Applewild School의 캠퍼스는 첫 인상부터 매우 따뜻했습니다. 자연에 둘러싸인 공간 속에서 아이들이 여유 있게 생활을 하고 있었고 학교 전체가 아이들의 눈높이를 맞춰 설계되어 있다는 느낌을 받았습니다. 편안하지만 결코 느슨하지 않는 분위기가 정말 인상 깊었습니다. 애플와일드 스쿨은 1957년에 설립된 학교로 4학년부터 9학년까지 학생들이 재학하고 있습니다. 약 300명 내외의 학생들이 다니고 있고 교사 대 학생 비율은 1대6으로 정서적 케어와 학업 지도가 균형 있게 이루어지고 있습니다. 애플와일드 스쿨 역시 좋은 학생들을 선발하기 위해 노력하고자 예스유학과 꾸준히 협력하고 있는 곳인데요. 올해 애플와일드 교장 에이미 졸리, 럼지힐 입학처장 제니퍼 콜팍, 시니어 보딩 틸튼 스쿨 입학처장 JD 로저스 예스유학 사무실에 방문하여 함께 한국 보딩스쿨 학생들에 대해 이야기를 나누었습니다. 이 학교는 특히 학생들의 감정 상태와 자신감을 중요하게 여기는 교육, 철학에 잘 드러나는 곳이었습니다. 비교적 어린 나이에 유학을 시작하는 한국 학생들에게도 안전하고 따뜻한 첫 보딩스쿨의 경험이 될 수 있겠다는 확신이 들었습니다. 이제는 저희가 애플와일드 스쿨로 왔는데요. 캠퍼스 투어와 담당자분이랑 미팅 시간을 갖겠습니다. 그럼 한번 가볼까요?
So this is the Laverack room. Mr. Laverack was our first head of school, so that's the namesake. This room is used to welcome visitors, but also host sort of those more special and formal events on campus with parents and friends and families. Yeah, all right, we will head this way over here. So this is one of our conference rooms on campus. So this is used for various meetings, whether it's the Board of Trustees. Our head of school, Amy Jolly, also teaches a seminar class to our 9th graders on leadership. So that's where they have this seminar class. And here, this used to be the old admissions office. There used to be a wall actually running from over there to here. Admissions was over here, but we opened the space up because it originally was an open room. Yeah, we'll head this way to our health center. So yeah, I love the carpet.
I also love the color, like it goes well.
Me too. Hello. So this is our health center. Our nurse is on the phone right now, but we have this space here to treat any like ice packs or band-aids. In the back, we also have some private rooms. Bathroom, vending students in the bathroom here. And then we have these 2 private rooms if any students need to sleep during the day. And then any boarding students have to come spend some time. There's one there, and then some storage closets in the back.
Okay,
Over there. Yeah. Oh, of course. I have one that's right before you got here at lunch, so it's time for it. Yeah, so this is 4th and 5th grade. Up here, this is our 5th grade classroom. This used to be the master bedroom. It's a house. So we have 2 fireplaces in here, which is pretty cool.
Oh wow.
This is where 5th grade has their English class, history, and math class are all in here. They moved to a different building for science and art, which we'll go check out after. This is Dr. Packer's office. She's our associate head of school over there. She's often running around doing different things. So she's not there right now, but this is our 4th grade classroom over here. Yes.
Wow.
So they have the 2 different spaces, which is nice. So they'll do time at the desks and we'll get a projector and whiteboards, but also do time on carpet. This is also where they have English, history, and math class. In here. Back there we have some more offices and sort of tutoring rooms. There. so it's newly 9 months old. Flat Rock and the one down the hill each have 15 beds in 3 faculty apartments. And they used to be older houses, so you go in and it feels like an older house. So it's a more cozy family style dorm. This one though has more of a collegiate secondary school feel. So this is where we like to have our older students in, and then the younger ones in like cozier dorm. This year we have all of our students in here. There are 40 beds, 20 on each floor. We'll go check it out. Okay, come in. Thank you. Alright.
Oh yeah, you get that smell.
Yes, it does still smell new. We just head upstairs. This is the girls' floor. Okay. So we have boys on the first floor and girls up here. Yeah, there are 20 beds on each floor. And we have faculty apartments on each end of the hallway. So we have one faculty apartment over here. We have kids' rooms right here. Hello. Hi. Alright, so each floor has a common room that looks like this with comfy furniture. Then we have a fridge and sink and a hydration station. So students come and hang out here in the evenings, on the weekends. Especially on the girls' floor, we do a lot of crafting. We're really big into diamond painting and clay and drawing. We also do dorm movie nights often, which is exciting. I'll point out over here, this is the average schedule. So for a school day and then a weekend and a holiday. Kind of get an idea of what it looks like. We also do have a dorm Labubu, that was, or Lafufu.
Yeah, it's
not
a
real one.
Lafufu.
It is a Lafufu, yes. We used to have a showroom, but we have, every room is filled in the dorm right now, so we don't have a showroom anymore. This is Maho and Lisa's room in here, so come on in. It's Lisa's birthday, so the girls decorated her door so she could wake up to some decorations. Yes, this is what each room in the dorm looks like. So they're each doubles with the bed and dressers and the desk and the open closets. Each room has individual temperature control over here.
Wow.
So they can AC, heat,
That's
all that
new.
stuff. It's very, very
This is
luxurious.
special.
It is very special, right? Turn the lights on too. So that we have 2 sinks in the back here, toilet and a shower. The cleaners do come in once a day, which is really nice. Yeah, to keep the space.
Ruby's birthday.
Oh yes, Ruby yesterday. So she has a sink here.
Who gets the single and who gets a double?
Yeah. So this year, the singles were given out to our older students. It was just based on numbers.
Right.
So we have this year 34 boarding students, and then we put them all in the new dorm. So the 2 other dorms are empty right now. We did it sort of just based, so we choose the roommates, the director of res life with the dorm parents, with the students we already know who live well together, and then the students from last year could also request a roommate if they wanted to live with someone. So this year it was just sort of based on matches. We do have prefects though, so prefects will often have a single room if they would like one. Our prefect up here is living in a double. She wanted a roommate. But yeah.
Very cool.
This is our only dining space on campus, so all day students and boarding students have lunch here. Here. So this is a project that our 8th graders last year started. We're going to start this project up soon. They were growing herbs and vegetables in here that then the faculty or the dining hall is using to cook with.
Wow, like this.
So they were, so it was all, this is kind of like how it works. This was a project our 8th graders were working on last year. So we had like basil. That was the one that was really delicious. I had like a salad bar. Really good basil. Down here is our other than the break in the trees over there. Athletic center done. It's a sort of temporary music storage and locker room, sports bags. I do want to point out, you'll see these posters sort of all around campus. These are our 7 core values. A lot of schools have some type of core values or words. So these really lay the foundation of all the living and learning happening on campus. I always like to say that Applewild has a liberal arts educational approach. It sounds very collegiate, very college, but I really see it in action here, where kids are learning in academics, arts, and athletics. And so the academics piece, they're all taking math classes and English and history and science, but then they're also all taking lots of arts classes. So they're all in studio art, which we'll get to go see, and drama classes, band, choir. Starting in 5th grade, they all play sports every season as well. We'll walk in, we'll see the art room.
Obviously, it's not going to be a line in your piece. It won't be a line in your piece because you look at the bottom. Think of this as another piece. That will change this right now. But it would be a curved line, parentheses, right? Simple shape.
So this is our Wallace Information Center. It's our upper school library. This is where we have those study hall blocks for students out here. We also use this space to have 6th through 9th grade meetings. So that's when all 6th through 9th graders and teachers will come and talk about upcoming events. And then back here is sort of our learning support center. Back here is where we have our ELL classes. So it's with Miss Who, Amanda Who. Also one of our ELL teachers, Mr. Chase. Also talk about our clubs program a little bit in here. So students will choose 2 clubs to be in during the year. We used to have community clubs and fun clubs, kind of like very separate categories. Community clubs to improve the community in some way, and then fun clubs, kind of anything they want and they can come up with. This year we're trying a new approach where students can do 1 full year club and then 2 trimester clubs. So each trimester they'll choose a club. So then student ambassadors are 1 club. We have a maintenance club, so they help our maintenance team sort of fix things around campus. We have an improv club. We have a joy club. We try to spread joy. So there's a lot of a lot of clubs. So it's another chance for students to get involved in more extracurriculars and try out new things. So we use this space for drama, 4th through 9th grade. The most exciting event in here is the Eleanor Crow public speaking contest. So it's all 8th and 9th graders that participate in it. Another graduation requirement. They have to deliver a 3 to 5 minute speech that's completely memorized. It's based on NPR's This I Believe series, so it has to be a speech about something that you believe in, something that's very important. Mr. Bonanno has been teaching here since 2000, so he just finished his 25th year at Applewild. He knows how to play basically every instrument you can think of. In 5th grade or 4th grade, everyone plays recorders, so they get that foundation of instrumental music. And in 5th grade, they get to choose a wind instrument or percussion, so like clarinet, saxophone, trumpet. We also have guitars, piano. We do.
The trumpets that you're playing. Hi guys, how are you? Hi guys, how are you? Hi, Frank Banana. Hi, Julia. Hi, how are you guys? This is our 5th grade band, beginner band. They just actually got the instruments this week or the end of last week, so we're starting up we start them in, this is our fourth, fifth grade band. Okay, so we start them in instrumental music in fourth and fifth grade. They get to pick any, the first day of school that we have an instrument demonstration done by professionals, and then they get to choose an instrument. So this is the beginning. So we have the fourth and fifth grade band, and we have a sixth and seventh grade band, and then we have an eighth and ninth grade symphonic band, along with violinists in the band, and we also have a jazz band and chamber music. So it's a cool 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 2, 3, 4.
안녕하세요 여러분. 오늘은 애플와일드의 교장 선생님이신 에이미 선생님을 모셨습니다.
Hello, thank you for having me. My name's Amy Jolly. I've been with Applewild School here in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. This is my 7th year. I'm so excited to be here. I grew up in the area actually, although I haven't lived in New England my whole life. I had the opportunity to live in Colorado and Virginia, Washington, D.C., but I came back home because I really did miss the New England culture, for lack of a better term. People in this part of our country really value education. So when I was raising my own children, I really wanted to be here.
Thank you. So every school has a distinct atmosphere. You can often feel it within 5 minutes of stepping on campus, and I definitely felt that warm welcome stepping onto Applewild. If you had to capture your school's energy in 3 words, what would they be, and can you give me a snapshot of why?
Wow. I would say, Applewild, it's definitely an elite education, but it is not elitist. So I think it's a very comfortable place to be a student. Our students are very respectful. So I know I'm breaking your rule here, not giving you 3 words. But it's a comfortable place to be a student. So it's hard enough to be a middle school student at a boarding school. So it's important to be comfortable. So here you're going to be pushed and stretched and encouraged to try hard things, but it's in a comfortable environment. At Applewild School, the other thing that we will encourage you to do is try new things. So we have this sort of vast conspiracy of non-optionality. So everyone tries everything. And that means we all believe that you do sports, you do arts, you do lots of different kinds of academics, but you have choice in all of these things. And we expect you to exercise that choice and to experience the good and the bad that goes with that.
Thank you. What are you most proud of when you reflect on the community you've built here so far?
Wow. It's the people, goodness. We have a phenomenal teaching staff here. Our teaching staff, they come from all over the country. And the one thing that unites us is that they all want to work with students this age. As you can imagine, not everyone is comfortable living and teaching middle school students. And because we start our boarding program in the 4th grade, it really takes extraordinary people who are willing to read a bedtime story to a sad 4th grader to help them feel comfortable in the evening, or to help 6th graders maybe paint their fingernails one evening. These are special people. So I think it's our staff that is really wonderful.
Thank you. So Amy, as I finished the tour around the campus, I see a lot of new changes happening on your campus. How do you see Applewild growing or evolving in the next 3 to 5 years, especially with international families becoming more involved?
Well, we're so lucky here. We have been able to secure the philanthropic support to invest approximately $50 million in our campus over this 5-year period. So Applewild is really upgrading our facilities in a significant way. And this is also, what's also wonderful about it is that the kids don't really notice. The construction projects are very isolated to one specific spot on campus. We have always had very involved families in our boarding program. Our families are supportive, and they meet us when we travel on the road. In fact, I'm really looking forward to an upcoming trip when I'm going to visit Korea, and hope to see some of our past and our current families while I'm there. And we have families involved in all aspects of school life. In our Parents Association, we have international families involved who shepherd new families, helping them onboard to our community. We also have families involved in our trustees that are involved in our residential program. And it's just exciting to have a wide range represented across the school.
Thank you. What do you think makes a Korean student or even just an international student thrive here at Applewild? And is there a certain mindset or quality that helps them adjust best?
I think families should look at whether it's at Applewild or any school, do all students have a seat at the table? So make sure that all students are equally represented on things like student council, for the awards at graduation, team captains, club presidents. All of those things should have representation from all different kinds of students at the school. And one of the things I love about Applewild is our boarding students, our international students, our day students, the representation is really quite distributed. So, it's fun to see everyone having a seat at the table.
Thank you. Is there a moment or a story that reminds you why you love being here at Applewild?
Let me think about that. I mean, there are so many. When you've been in education for a while, you often think about the hard situations first, because we deal with middle school students, and it is one of the more difficult phases of human development that people go through. I think I would say that at Applewild, it's actually a good place to make a mistake. This is a good place to have a hard lesson around a friendship, or about to make a mistake in a class or on the playing field, and you make a mistake at Applewild, and then when you go to secondary school, you don't make that mistake when the stakes are so much higher, and that way you're set up for success in a way that's just different than a student that is, for example, starting boarding school for the first time. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's the preparation that you get at a junior boarding school that is such a distinct advantage that you have.
Thank you. What has surprised you most, in the best way, about leading a junior boarding school like this?
One of the things I love about it is that because we don't have older teenagers here, we don't have, 17 and 18-year-old students, we don't have all of the hormones, we don't have all of those teenage things. We also don't have that pressure for college yet. I mean, of course we have pressure because our students are thinking about secondary school, but it's just different, right? Our students really have the freedom to work on themselves and to really focus on building that foundation of skills, their character, who they are, and becoming really strong, so that when they leave us and they go off to secondary school, they're sort of ready for that. They're so much stronger for that, and then they're ready. They're ready to go off and compete for those seats for college and life and all of that. But that's why I love that we don't have high school students on our campus.
We always tell families that finding the right school is about more than rankings or facilities. It's about fit and the feeling when you're at school. What is something about Applewild, whether it's a value, tradition, approach, or even mindset, that genuinely sets it apart from other junior boarding schools?
We very much have an entrepreneurial mindset at our school. So, you know, we're located here in central Massachusetts. There are a lot of small and medium-sized businesses. We're located just outside of Boston, near a lot of the startup economy of Boston. And that is definitely in the air we breathe here. There is something to that. There's a scrappiness. I don't know how else to say it. There's a practicality to us. There's not a lot of, no one is putting on airs at this school. So if you're looking for a school that has a lot of arrogance, that really is not Applewild. If you want a school that's going to really care about your child and is going to care about helping each child develop to their fullest potential, that's really what we focus on, is each child. And that's why we're intentionally small.
Thank you for sharing that. Every school has a mission statement, but how that mission actually shows up in daily life is what really matters. Could you share how Applewild's core values or missions are lived out by students and teachers on a normal day?
We're actually revisiting our mission right now. That is part of the healthy housekeeping of any school. We're working with a consulting firm and revisiting that. We don't see ourselves as just a school for the students that are within our academic program. We actually see ourselves as an economic driver for our immediate area as well. So Applewild is much bigger than just where we are in central Massachusetts here. I don't know if you know this, but we have 2 locations. So we have a location here, and then we have another location 15 miles closer to Boston. So, and we strive to have even more than that. So it's back to the entrepreneurial thinking that is present here at the school.
Thank you. You've seen so many students walk through your doors over the past 7 years, with each with their own journey and transformation. Is there a student story, personal memory, or a moment that has stayed with you? Something that also even captures the heart of Applewild?
I had a student a couple years ago who I thought really acquired language in an interesting way. She would hear a word, and she arrived to us in the 4th grade, so and her English was not so strong, but she would hear a word early in the day, and she would not know what it meant, and she would look at you, and she would say the word, and then later in the day she would come up to me and she would say the word in a sentence, and then later in the day she would be, using the word in a different way. And she was like, she was acquiring language just so rapidly. It was fun to watch her do it, and it was just fascinating to see her play with language. And I think we look for that when we interview students for admission, is how a student reacts to failure. She was willing to fail in front of us,
Right.
not use a word correctly. And I think that is that's key, right? To be able to try something and fail. And that's hard in middle school, right? Because it's when you're in middle school, your body is changing and you're learning new things. So she was always such an interesting student to watch just unfold in front of us. And she is now off at Dana Hall, and she's just thriving and doing amazing. It's fun to watch all of them. They all have their own stories, and it's fun to help each one of them become the whole people they're supposed to be. And I think at Applewild, we each have a personal interest in these kids, and that's why, like, I'm involved in secondary school placement, and we'll never give it up because of that. I have a few kids that I help with the placement process every year, and our associate head of school, our dean of students, and our director of residential life, we all work together to do secondary school placement. And we literally get together every other week and we talk about each student, like, okay, so what's this one doing? How are they preparing? Where are they looking? What do they need to do to be ready? And we think about what opportunities do they need and how can we help? So I had a student actually from Korea a couple of years ago who was just, what a wonderful boy, but quiet. Not particularly athletic. Not too artsy either. Really bright though, like really smart. Wonderful in the community. Like this is a boy you want in the dorm. This is a boy who you want to live with your kid. So how do you show the schools in the admission process? It's very competitive. Like how do you show him to his best advantage? So we sat down as a team. We thought about how do we help him place, and we decided that he loved building things. So we had him design a few lessons for our younger students.
No,
Yeah.
really?
And then he went down, he taught them to the lower grades. You know, some of the lessons went well and some of them went, not so well.
But you fail and you learn.
Right. And what was great was he was able to go to his secondary school interviews and sort of reflect on that. And it really showed who he was as a person, and it helped him place better. So, in the admission process, there are lots of smart boys, right? And it really helped him stand out in the admission process. So we try to think about each of our students like that and help them place. So I share that in that, like, we care about each one.
Okay. So before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share specifically with Korean parents, families, especially those who might be exploring junior boarding schools in the US for the very first time or considering Applewild School?
I think families who are considering junior boarding, it is a sacrifice for families to let your child go far away to go to boarding school. It is also a significant investment. There is no question, right? But families make two decisions, right? The first decision you make is that you believe your child can do this. Not that you think it's going to be easy for your child, because let's face it, it won't be easy. It will be hard. But your child will learn an awful lot through this process. They will walk taller when they leave our campus. The second decision you have to make is that you have to trust the school that you pick. You have to believe that we will take care of your child. And that's why it's important to look at a couple of schools and really walk the campus, meet the people. And back to your question about rankings and whatever, all of the junior boarding schools, we all place students to all of the wonderful secondary schools. So really it should come down to what feels right in your heart for your child. And, go with that. Go with where you feel your child will be most successful, because truly, if they are most successful, they will place the best for secondary school from that environment. So if you make those two decisions, then you will have success for your child. The world is a crazy place right now. I would just close and say that, at Applewild, we take safety, both physical and emotional safety, very, very seriously. We love these kids like they're our own. I have 3 kids of my own. 2 of my 3 went to boarding school, so I know exactly what it's like to drop them off with strangers and trust them to be taken care of. And, I take that responsibility very, very seriously. And I know I speak for my entire staff in that we all take that responsibility very, very seriously.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me and for the Korean family audience.
Yes, thank you.
그러면 오늘 애플와일드 인터뷰는 이렇게 마치고 그러면 저희는 빠이 하겠습니다. 안녕히 가세요.